What's up, everybody? Welcome to Talking Nerdy About Digimon Episode 2. I am James.
I am Zool.
I am Brandon. Hello, Zool.
There is no Dana, only Zool. Who are you?
I'm Tyler.
Okay. Hi, Tyler. Today we're doing. We're gonna start.
I'm not really Zool. I'm Jerry.
Oh,
hi.
Thank you for clearing that up for us.
Yeah, no problem.
Today we're starting our Digimon Adventure discussion. We've been doing Digimon Universe Apple Monsters, which kind of a separate series to this one that we're doing now.
You know, and it's actually relevant to point out right now, actually, that I'm wearing a Gomamon shirt. It's a very cool shirt. I got it from Once Upon a Tea for like $13. You know, they do their weekly shirts, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Tea doesn't have to give us money, but if they want to give us money, that'd be awesome.
Please, yeah.
But yeah, I just had to point it out because I've already said it to James
a million times.
Yeah.
So we do this. We're gonna do this series talking about Digimon, where we're gonna go through Adventure, then we're gonna go through 02, then we're gonna go through Tamers, and then we're doing our other series, which is just Apple Monsters.
Yeah, and
we call those Applisodes.
Applisodes.
Yep.
But we might start a different formula after we get caught up on Appmon.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I figured we'd do like 2 episodes at a time because we meet like every 2 weeks. So
that would
do 2
work.
episodes at a time.
I was even thinking like maybe we could do 2 episodes of Digimon and then an episode of Appmon.
Oh, you mean like put like how? We'll figure that out.
We could mix it up.
We can work on that.
We could do some things.
But first, where can everybody find us?
Places.
We've got YouTube.
We got YouTube, Talking Nerdy.
We've got Podbean.
Right.
Right.
iTunes.
Yeah, iTunes. If you're into that kind of thing, I don't know.
Everybody is.
Yeah.
Also, if you do this, if you get on Podbean, go ahead and like subscribe, so you can get you make sure you get the episodes weekly.
Yeah, we were actually just checking the listens that we've had on Podbean for our episodes, and what was it?
70.
70? And see, I only listened to it 65 times, so that's
64.
Yeah.
Well, I was 4.
So we've got
somebody out there has
someone
listened.
listening. That's great.
So iTunes, subscribe, leave us a rating 1 through 5, and a review if you want. Just leave some comments for us.
YouTube.
Please
go on YouTube. Tell me I rock.
Subscribe. Yeah.
How much you love me.
Facebook at Talking Nerdy 815, and you can email us questions, comments about the show, talk to us about Digimon, anything like that at talkingnerdy815@gmail.com. So, if you guys have anything else, we'll jump in.
No, I think that's it. I think we're good.
You don't want to mention
the Gomamon shirt
Okay.
already.
Okay.
So,
right.
Yeah, no.
So, episode 1, the episode that started it all.
Adrift, the Island of Adventure.
So, we're going to be mainly talking about the sub, the original version.
Because talking about the dub is so tired at this point.
But
it's not tired.
I'm going to rewatch while I rewatch the subs. I'm going to watch the dub.
You have that kind of time, so.
Well, it's Digimon. I'll make that kind of time.
Yeah.
Watch
all right.
In French.
I don't.
Did they do it in French? If they did a French dub,
would you watch a French dub?
No.
But anyway, so mainly we're going to be discussing the sub version, though, the original.
Yeah, I mainly just want to see if there's any differences. And right off the bat, the only real difference is, some of the names, of course.
Right.
Because, an 8-year-old mind wouldn't know how to say Takanouchi Sora. Well, it's easier just to say Sora.
Yeah. So first off, when we start this show, you start out with Tai, right?
Yeah.
The
Don't you mean Taichi?
Taichi.
Okay.
Taichi.
Are you starting the episode
Kamiya.
already?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm pretty sure
Kamiya.
we started with weird things happening all over the world.
Well,
yes.
He just said that he loves the series, and
I do.
You're already flubbing on it. So All right.
So I'm not going to go into every little detail. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so we
Devil's in
had
the
droughts going on in the desert and mudslides. America during like the middle of summer had a blizzard, and then
the
we
desert.
get to summer camp, where we first meet our heroes.
Mm-hmm.
And they see an aurora.
Whoa, we're not there. We have to introduce them one at
Oh,
a time.
yeah, 'cause-
we have to tell their ages and yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, they don't give the age. They give what grade they're in.
So you got Tai Chi.
Taichi Yagami, 5th grade. He
Who-
wears goggles.
He is the
and
goggle- he's the
Always
goggle
wearing
boy.
gloves.
Maybe he has a weird germ fetish.
Germ fetish or phobia?
Germophobia.
Both. Oh, that's
Because he's
interesting.
aroused by them.
He
and fears
he
them.
only loves his germs.
Yes,
Nobody
only
else's.
his germs.
Only his germs. He fears them.
Who do they introduce next? Matt?
Sora.
Oh, Sora.
Takemichi Sora, who is also in the 5th grade. And then Matt in this series is called Yamato.
Yamato.
Yamato Ishida in 5th grade as well. Then they Izumi Koshiro, which is Izzy, 4th grade. Tachikawa Mimi, 4th grade.
Mimi.
What did I say?
No, I'm just saying.
Okay. Did I say that weird or something? And then it's Takaishi Takaru, which is TK. He's in 2nd grade.
He's the man. He is the man.
Kido Joe, which is 6th grade, but it's not Joe as in Joe or Joseph. It's Jyou.
Yeah.
And that's our cast. They it starts off with Taichi sitting in a tree,
Just chilling.
yeah, doing his thing, and then all of a sudden snow starts falling.
Yeah,
It's
falls.
the middle of the summer.
It is.
Snow is falling.
Summer vacation. Summer camp. So you're not expecting.
Arkansas.
But this is not Arkansas. This
Yeah.
is
This is
Japan.
Japan.
So
Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. You know,
it's
if
very
they-
hot. Japan has very hot summers, or so I hear.
Yeah.
Because none of my friends that I went to Japan with want to go anywhere near the spring or summer.
Really?
Yeah, they're like, go to the winter. There's less people. There's
We're-
less going on.
Yeah,
And
but
it's not as
we
hot.
live in Arkansas, so is it really like?
I mean,
It's probably not super
I think it's
humid.
more.
like,
I think it's more about the subway, because it's underground and it's
yeah,
like
that's true.
be packed in there like sardines, and it's just you're melting. Like,
Yeah.
I already don't like wearing pants, so
It's like,
you know.
I got you. Yeah. So
Starts snowing, everybody's coming out like, oh crap, snow, and then they see an aurora borealis, which
Mhm.
is not common for Japan.
no.
No, they're too far. They're not even south enough for the aurora Australia. So
I didn't know that there were auroras
Geography.
in
yeah,
Australia.
there's northern lights and southern lights.
Holy crap! Mind blown. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So
What
anyway,
do you think they were just in?
I don't, man.
Aurora borealis are the northern lights.
Yeah.
I haven't got to
Aurora
that part of the
Australis
world
is
yet.
the
Okay.
southern lights.
So anyway,
So
they're all
they all
checking
kind of
this
come
out.
together, right?
Yeah, these destined kids.
Are they destined? We don't know this yet.
Are they?
You're
Are
jumping.
they?
Who are they?
Are they? Of
Wrong show.
course they
Um,
are.
Wrong
so all of
show,
a sudden,
sadly.
these lights just kind of come down and shoot like
Yeah,
right in
like
front
little
of them.
meteors.
Yeah,
meteorites.
and we're like, holy crap! If that was like 5 inches closer, they'd be dead right now. So they're all
destiny,
like,
though.
"Oh, what's going on here?" And then a light kind of pops out, and something floats up to him.
Would you grab it?
Dude, totally. I
No,
mean, if
you would
something weird
not.
enough like that starts happening, I'm like, I'd grab it. Yeah, totally. If there was a meteor that fell right in front of me, hell no, I wouldn't touch that thing. It'd probably be really hot.
But this
But if it
rises
floated-
from the
yeah, it
meteor, though,
floated
so you
up.
still
It's-
don't think it's hot?
I'm obviously chosen. You know,
Chosen for something to get burned.
yeah. Like, I
Well,
mean, it
Ty's
could be
wearing
it could
gloves,
be
though, so
yeah.
he's all right.
It could be an alien.
I think
parasite
Matt wears
or
gloves.
something.
Does Matt wear gloves?
I believe so. I think there's only a
Sora
few
wear
characters
gloves,
that don't. TK doesn't wear gloves.
Joe doesn't wear gloves.
Joe doesn't wear gloves. I think everyone else.
Oh, yeah,
Izzy
Izzy
doesn't wear gloves. Yeah.
Wait, are you sure?
No, yeah, he's wearing
Izzy does have gloves.
Big-ass
Yeah,
white
those big
gloves.
white ones.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. So I guess it's just what Joe and
Joe
TK.
and TK. Yeah.
Yeah. So
The
yeah,
young one and the old
Does
one.
Mimi has gloves.
Mimi
Yeah.
wears gloves. Yeah.
yeah. So anyway,
So
they pick up these
they grab
devices.
the
and then all of a
device.
sudden, out of nowhere, this giant like monsoon type
Tidal wave just comes out of nowhere. They're nowhere near
flying and stuff like that, and then just bam.
This is why you don't grab strange lights out of the
Out of the
that
ground.
float
So
up out of the
you're telling
ground.
me you wouldn't grab a strange light if it
I really
meant
don't
that
know.
you would be
I really don't
a
know.
Digidestined?
I don't know that though.
But you would take the chance, right? Or would
I
you
probably
not be a main
would.
character?
I probably would. Wrong show.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah. Do
What?
you or don't you want to be a main
I
character?
do
James?
want to be a main character.
Okay.
So anyway, so then we cut to Tai Chi, and he wakes up, and he's staring in the face of this pink just pink round,
Jigglypuff.
pink round like ball of
Fat.
something.
It's round. It's pink. It has these really long bunny-looking ears, giant eyes, and a huge like mouth.
Yep.
It's just all mouth.
And it's really energetic and really excited to see him. And he automatically know Ty's name, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
And then he introduces himself as Koromon.
Koromon.
And
means
pretty much,
no
I'm just going to go ahead and say all the starter Digimon are baby types and data types, which I don't know.
Are they all data?
Yeah, I kind of got tired of that. I feel like whenever they digivolve, though,
They
they
just put Ditto.
some of them
Okay.
goes different. But yeah, so he introduces himself as Koromon, says he's a Digimon, and away we go.
So then,
The rest is history.
wow. End of the episode. Done. I know.
It is serious.
So I think at that point, Izzy pops out, right?
He's like,
And
hey,
he's got a little
this
thing.
and it's called Motimon.
Motimon.
And it looks like a little pink ghost
Mhm.
almost, and it's just it's got arms. It actually has little arms,
Yeah.
little stubby arms.
Well, no.
And he kind
Yeah,
of
he's one of the few of the babies that do.
I think he does, and
one of the others that we're about to get to does. So anyway, they chillin'.
Anywho.
I think at that point, doesn't Tai Chi and Koromon go up a tree, right?
yeah,
Kinda get the lay of the
land. Yeah,
Like,
He's
check
got
things
his
out.
little
With his
mini
little
telescope
scope.
thing.
Mini telescope. So he gets up there, he pulls that out. He's like,
Alright,
whoa,
looking for treasure.
the topography of this place. Do you like that I use the word
That is
topography?
very good.
Yeah. He's like, this looks nothing like the camp or anything. He sees the ocean.
Sees the ocean. Yeah,
And then all of a sudden he sees a thing flying around. And he's
There.
like, what the hell is that? And it's
cuts
yeah.
towards him,
and it
starts coming
this
at him.
giant stag beetle. And like him and Koromon kind of duck, and it just
This is-
like
that's
takes off
crazy.
that whole top part of the tree that was right above him.
He hangs from the limb by
Yeah.
his like
Legs.
knees.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So
I
he
still
was
see
like
that.
he was
Oh,
like
yeah?
5 seconds away from being decapitated in end of series or really much darker series. So then they get down and they start getting chased by this thing. Motimon leads them to this tree that's a hologram,
Yeah, this is cool.
which was interesting. So they go in and it's just a giant metal hollowed out tree that's got a hologram on the face of
Yeah.
it. So they're all freaking out and like cowering, and then all of a sudden they hear a voice and like, it's safe to come
you
out
can come
now.
out now. Yeah,
So
And
it
they-
seems like she's already found that tree.
or maybe
she saw them running towards
yeah,
it.
or her Digimon. Maybe
Your friends
said-
are in the tree.
Yeah,
So they come out and ends up being Sora,
hmm
and she's got a little pink thing next to her, and it kind of looks like a
An
plant.
onion?
Yeah, almost like onion, and it's got a
That
little
has
frill
sprouted.
coming out of the top of it,
Yep.
and it introduces itself as a Pyokomon.
Yep.
So we've got those three. Then at that point, was it
I think.
TK? No, yeah, Matt and TK show up.
Yeah, and
And-
they've both got
And
one.
Matt's like, or was it Tai Chi's like, oh, Matt, you too. And
He's
Matt
holding him.
Yamato
Yeah.
is like, yeah, I'm on the
That's
island too. And he's like, no, I meant that thing under your arm. And he's like, oh, this guy? And he has Sunamon, and then Takeru.
Dude's cool. Sunomon is cool.
looks cool. He's like
A ball of fur.
little ball fur, and he's got a
With
little
the-
horn
Yeah, like
coming
a spike
out
coming
the
out of
top
his head.
of his head. And then it goes to Takeru, and he's got this little thing that looks like a pig, but it's got little wing ears,
It's
and
cute
it's
as one of
it's
them
called
all.
Tokomon.
I actually don't think Tokomon's the cutest one. I
Well,
actually
when
think
he opens his mouth, he's not so cute anymore.
probably either Bukamon or
Pokemon's good.
Motimon, I think, are the two cutest baby forms to me.
But when Tokomon doesn't have his mouth open,
He is cute.
he is cute.
So at that point, they hear a scream, and they see Joe running towards them, and he comes, and all of a sudden, like, he's being chased by this little seal guy with a little red hair thing, and it ends up being his Digimon, Pukamon. So they're like, "Oh, hey, yeah, we're all good, right?" And then all they introduce themselves as Digimon,
We're missing somebody, though.
and then Mimi screams.
Right.
And they're like, "Mimi, it's okay, it's your Digimon or whatever. They're friendly." But she's not running away from her Digimon, which is actually Tanamon.
Tanamon.
And it's like this little round sprout with little legs, and it's green and has like kind of a flower coming out of it.
Yeah.
She is running away from the giant bug, who they introduce us to as Kuwagamon. And he is really, I don't know, he's pissed off. He wants to eat them. Something.
This being the first Digimon besides the babies that they ever see, that's scary, dude.
Yeah. So there's this terrifying giant bug flying at them, and they're all... And it's kind of funny because Taichi's first instinct is like, "Oh, I'm going to fight this thing," And then they pretty much are like, "No, dude, let's get the hell out of here."
Tactical retreat.
And Kuwagamon, to note, is insect type that is an adult virus.
Level. Yep.
Yeah. So, right off the bat, I don't know if you watch Pokemon or any other shows. This is the first show that I know of where the protagonists, like the human characters, are like, "I'm gonna fight this thing," instead of automatically being like, "Hey, little thing, go fight it for me."
Right. Well, mainly because they don't know that that's the Digimon's purpose.
Oh, yeah, yeah, of course. He's not, but I mean, he's not automatically like, "Oh, you're an indentured servant, go fight this thing for me." So
it's the Digimon. They're like, "We'll protect you."
Yeah,
and they jump.
So they get chased to a cliff face, and they're like, what do we do now? And Kuwagamon pops up, and they try to blow bubbles at him, and it doesn't work.
No.
So he's coming at him, and all the Digimon are like, "Oh, we got to go fight him."
I think this is the first time we see Tokomon with his mouth open, and he's like
nasty,
crazy, dude. He's got these massive teeth. It's crazy.
He's like this little cute little pig thing, and he's just got these nasty, crazy teeth. So anyway, all the Digimon are like, "We want to go fight, let us go," and stuff.
Yeah.
And they all get away from their respective buddies, and they're all bouncing, and everybody's partners.
Wrong show.
We're gonna be doing that a lot.
That's gonna be hard.
So at each point, each partner says their Digimon's name, and then a light comes down from the sky and hits them all. And they transform. They digivolve. Except they don't call it digivolving. They just call it evolving in the Japanese
It's just evolving.
version.
Yeah.
So
we added digi to everything.
Yeah.
When we dubbed
everything.
it.
Yeah. So anyway, they all transform into bigger versions, and it's Koromon turns into Agumon. Pyokomon turns into Biomon. Sunomon turns into Gabumon. Modimon turns into Tintamon. Tanamon turns into Palmon. Tokomon turns into
Patamon.
Yeah,
that's my
Patamon.
boy.
Pukamon turns into the guy on my shirt here. Pokemon. Did I mention the shirt?
Yep. Yes, the shirt.
So then they're like, they got bigger. Holy crap!
Yeah.
So at this point. Okay, Patamon's a little bit bigger, but not by much.
They look different.
So then they start doing some serious damage.
Yeah,
we've got fire going on. We've got lightning going on.
They all have their own separate attacks now because in baby form, only thing they can do is bubble.
Boom bubble.
Boom bubble. Right. Well, no, it's like boom bubble is Patamon's attack.
Okay, so it was all the other
just a bigger bubble.
Yeah. My favorite part about this scene, though, the greatest and most character defining moment is they're all shooting him. Breathing fire, lightning, and what does Goemon do? He rolls under his legs. Like he's like, I ain't got nothing for this, so I'm just gonna roll under his legs.
Skomamon.
Yep, and trips him up, and he's all on fire and crap, and falls back into the woods. And all the children come and like, oh, hey, you're this now. That's so cute. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, that's a great scene.
Yeah,
They're all like holding each other.
Yeah, or like who I think Tai Chi calls him Koromon, and he's like, oh no, it's Agumon now. Anymore. And that's when flaming, like dying Kuwagamon pops out of the friggin' forest and just nails the cliff face they're on.
Yeah,
and they just all go plunging down, down.
Into the water.
That is where the first episode ends. So we're like, oh, well, I guess they're dead now.
Now we gotta wait a whole week to find out what happens to our heroes, you know?
So, all right. And
but you don't have to wait a whole week, fellow listeners.
Okay.
Because we're going to keep jumping. We're going to keep going.
I thought that was going to be the end of it. But.
You want to do these episode by episode? We can. It's up to you guys.
We won't do that, Tom.
I did say at the beginning that we're doing 1, 2, and 3. So I would be lying to our listeners if we didn't.
I don't listen to you very often.
I know you don't.
It would have been cool because it would have recaptured the
We should have just cut it. We should have just cut it. And then, like, 5 minutes later, like, all right, yeah, so now it's time for episode 2. So, episode 2 picks up right where the last episode left off.
They're falling.
They're falling to their deaths.
Yep.
potentially. We finally see Goemon's attack.
At that point, Goemon...
Is it an attack?
Calls a fourth...
Really?
No.
No.
Goemon calls a fourth... fishes, and I think in English
it's called
it was
marching fishes. Yeah.
Right? Was it still marching fishes in Japan?
I think it might be actually.
Man. Okay,
but they pulled a raft.
So anyway, all these fish come out of nowhere, and all the kids, it's a raft. And I actually remember, I don't remember this scene lasting as long with all the tides and everything.
Oh,
and then,
yeah.
Like, it looked a lot scarier
in the dub. We probably didn't get much.
Because it was too scary for the
So
American
they finally get ashore and everything, and I think they decide that they're gonna walk because I think Tai Chi saw the ocean, and they're like, that doesn't make any sense. There's no ocean around, where we were camping. So they decide to walk, and I think they're all kind of, talking to their Digimon about the changes and everything,
right?
And I think Takaru at one point was like, "What? Oh, Patamon, you've got wings. Does that mean you can fly?"
Yes.
Yeah. So he starts flying, but he does not really moving. He's going slower than he was when he went on.
And then Biomon is all like, I think it actually starts with a P, so it's Piomon.
Piomon, yeah.
Is like, oh, I can fly too, and Piomon's basically going the exact same speed. Oh, we didn't say the name of this episode either.
Down.
Oh, which one? What?
Did you write down the second episode?
Nope. I can look it up.
Oh,
episode 2.
So while he's looking for that, they're walking and they're talking about it, and I think at one point Mimi says something to Palmon. She's like, "Oh, who does your hair?" And she's like, "Oh, it's all natural." And it's just kind of funny because I think she says something to Mimi about putting too much into appearance, or do you think you put too much into appearance? And they finally get to this point, and it opens up, and they just see like the ocean. And then all of a sudden they hear a phone ringing.
Yes.
And they're like, "What the heck?" So they look over and there are phone booths just lined up.
I crack up every in the American.
So then they were all like, "Oh, sweet, phone booths. We can go call home." If you were of a certain age, a phone booth is actually what people used to use
before cell phones.
Yeah, we didn't have cell phones.
Yeah, well, cell phones weren't always a thing. You had to go to like the street corner or something like that. They had this little phone booth. It's actually what Superman changed in, which I guess they can't even use that in the comic books anymore since there's no such thing as a phone booth.
That's true.
Yeah, I never thought about that until now.
And you put in like dimes and quarters.
Yeah, you put in change, maybe talk to an operator, and
I would like to make a collect call.
Yeah, call and collect. That's a thing that you don't hear either.
By the way, it's explosive evolution.
Oh,
Greymon.
Oh, that sounds like we're gonna have another evolution. So they're all like dialing and calling, trying to call home, and
they don't work.
They just keep getting weird.
They get weird stuff like the weather.
I like the English one. One was like, "At the tone, the time will be 45 miles an hour in 26 seconds."
So they're all going, and then eventually they just give up.
Yeah.
And the only one still on the phone is
Joe.
Joe. He is relentless. He is determined to get a hold of somebody.
I think the whole time he's been saying, or maybe it's coming up, but we need to find the adults. We need to find some adults. You know, he's all about finding some adults, which makes sense.
I need an adult.
You know, but
so they're all sitting around and they're just like really hungry and starving, and
Joe has the like emergency.
Well, like TK goes to Takaru and he's just like, "Oh, hey, I got these snacks or whatever," and Mimi's like, "Oh, sweet, can I have them?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, have as many as you want." And then like they're I think somebody mentions Joe not giving up on the phone, and then they notice that he has the bag of emergency supplies. I think they also went into "Oh, Mimi, what do you have?" And she pulls out her bag, and she literally has everything that you could possibly want with camping. She's got the compass, the tinder for starting the fire, and so on and so forth. So anyway, they notice Joe has the emergency bag.
With
and
food.
And they're like, "Oh, hey, Joe, give us the emergency bag." And he's like, "Oh, this? Yeah, I just brought it to give it to Mimi or whatever, because it was her turn, you know?" Yeah. And
he gets stuck with it throughout the entire
So he gives it to him, and they're splitting up the food, and they're like, "Oh, we can last this many days." And then somebody mentions like, "Oh, what about the Digimon?" They're like, "Oh man, well that only splits it up to this many meals." And one of the Digimon is like, "Oh, well, we can forage and hunt for stuff." I think it was Piomon.
Yeah.
And so they're like, "Okay, well, that'll make things easier." And then all of a sudden they look over, and Tai and Koromon are going ham on all of the supplies. They're just eating everything, and everybody gets like pissed all of a sudden.
Well, of course. Yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah, they're eating the only bit of food.
There.
So
they never heard of
at that point,
before.
like things all steady. Gomamon's out chilling. He's the guy on my shirt I mentioned before. He's out chilling.
Burn
with
that
his
shirt for the end of the night.
with his little.
You should talk about your Led Zeppelin shirt.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So anyway, he's just chilling with his little
Digimon.
seal self out in the sea, and there comes a rumbling, and all of a sudden he gets like, doesn't he get shot up in the air or something like that? Or no, the rumbling kind of comes to the beach.
Yeah.
And all of the phone booths
booths
start getting launched into the air, and they're like, "What the heck is going on?" And all of a sudden something starts spinning in the sand.
It's aliens.
And it's close. It's not aliens.
It is aliens.
But it looks like an alien. And it comes out of the sand, and it's this big, nasty looking thing called Shellmon. At first, it's just a shell, and then, like, it looks like there's a butthole, but it's not. It's his head and his arms come out of it, and he's just pissed. And at that point, I think they're all like, "Quick, escape, climb up the cliff face." And he sprays water out of his head and just
takes all of them
down. Riot Control sprays the shit out of them, and they all fall. So they're like, "Oh no, we have to fight him." And I think Piomon and Gabumon go, and they're like, "Oh, we got this." And they go to do their moves, and it fails because they're hungry and they're exhausted. And all of a sudden, Agumon's like blasting away, and they're like, "Oh snap, he's the only one that ate food."
Yep.
So he's fighting. Tai Chi's over there cheering him on. I think at one point he grabs like a pole from the phone booth, and he's all trying to like poke Shellmon with it, and then Shellmon, I think
he grabs him with his.
Well, Shellmon grabs Agumon with the tentacle, and then he puts his hand over Tai, right? Or is it opposite?
I think it's the opposite.
Okay, Tai gets grabbed by a tentacle, and we've all seen enough hentai to know where that's going.
Yeah, right.
And then Agumon gets the paw,
right?
And Tai's like, dying over here. And he's like, "Oh, Agumon, help." And at that point, it zooms in on his Digivice, and it's glowing. And we know what that means.
Yep.
From the last episode.
Oh, wait.
It's not called Digivolve in the Japanese, James. Jesus Christ. So then Agumon goes, they do an evolving scene, and he turns into a bigger friggin'.
This is the first one we've seen.
Honestly, we didn't even describe any of the rookies, did we?
No.
Koromon turns into Agumon, which Agumon is a small T-Rex type Digimon. He's probably about waist high, right? A little taller.
He comes up to the waist.
Yeah. No.
He's a little taller, probably about elbow.
Taller, yeah.
Elbow. Let's see.
So
Pyokomon
is
Pyokomon turns into Biomon, which Biyomon ends up being like a bird, which is the one that we were talking about that was flying. Sunomon, which was Matt's that had the horn, ends up turning into Gabumon, which is like this wolf that has like an overfur, and he's got a horn. And then we have Modimon, which was the one that looked like the ghost, actually turns into this bug, like beetle named Tentamon. He's,
all of his things are based.
And then what is it? Tanamon, Mimi's Digimon that looked like a plant, ended up turning into a plant Digimon.
Yep.
That's green and has a flower, and her name's Palmon. Tokomon ended up turning into Patamon, which is just a kind of an upgraded form of it, I guess. Well, that's what they all are. But it's just turned into like a brown and white pig with bat ear wings.
It got the least radical change.
And then Pukamon, Joe's the best Digimon in the series, turns into Gomamon, which is a little, shirt. Which is actually on my shirt. And he's this little white and purple seal guy that has a little orange mohawk. So yeah, anyway, that's the description of all of them. Sorry we didn't do that earlier. We're totally incompetent.
Agumon's adult
so anyway, Agumon's going to Digivolve. Remember, he was the one that I was saying that looks like a dinosaur that is about elbow high.
Right.
So he transforms
into Greymon,
and he turns into a literal like T-Rex, right? He's badass. He's orange. He's got like blue stripes. He's got like a skull helmet almost on his head that's like brown and it has horns and stuff.
Yeah.
And his special move,
Nova Blast.
Yeah.
He's all over it, man.
Nova Blast, exactly. Nova Blast. And
of course, I'm saying all the dub attacks, so I don't know if it's different.
Well, I think in the dub it's Digi Nova Blast.
Yeah.
Digi Nova Blast.
They use both of them.
So he sent Shellmon packing, right?
Yeah.
He just, hey, go back out to the ocean. Yep. Away, fly, you magnificent son of a bitch. And he just goes flying, and then Greymon actually does something weird, and he goes back to Agumon. So at that point, we're like, okay, so they can't stay in that form. They stay in this form, this particular form.
He could have if he ate Shellmon.
That's true. If he would have ate Shellmon, he would have had enough energy.
They should have roasted dude, man. They could have eaten for days on that.
Yeah. Not that kind of show.
It should be.
And at that point, I guess it kind of we kind of ended with Greymon.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. And that being all awesome and figuring out that, hey, like, I don't know, maybe there's something to this that makes them bigger and stronger.
Aliens. But they haven't figured it out, and it's not aliens.
We don't know where the Digivices came from. They came from the sky. Aliens. So that's the end of the second episode. Kissy. And I guess that brings us straight into the third episode.
The Blue Wolf, Garurumon.
More of a white.
That means Biomon's going to digivolve in this episode.
No.
No,
again. So.
Oh, no, wait. Okay, we were still on the same episode. Wow, how many episodes did I watch?
25.
I think you said you watched 5 episodes, right?
Oh, that's it. Because I remember some other stuff from Future. I was like, wow, was that the third episode? No, that wasn't the third episode. So
they leave the beach.
They leave the beach because they're like, well, we can't sit here. What if he comes back? This might be his home.
Inland.
Yeah. And they run up on
Monochromon.
And they're like, fighting.
It's great because one pops up and they're like, oh shit, this guy's huge because he's a champion type. And they're like, oh no, don't worry about it, he's friendly. Then another one pops up behind him. And they're like, oh no,
is this like a territory thing or something?
Yeah.
Is that what's going on?
And they're fighting over territory. So they kind of go back behind a rock. And they basically fight each other and both fall off the cliff, which is really sad if you think about it. Because I doubt those things can swim. They look really heavy.
That's true. They're like big armored rhino almost. Like
and they've got like the Triceratops kind of horns going on. They're four-legged.
You said they're adult level, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're... So then our group journeys on. And they get to another clearing after going through the jungle woods for a little while longer.
Yeah, they come upon a lake.
Yeah, there's like a lake, and it has like power lines. And
is this where they find that
and they find the trolley car.
Yeah, there's a trolley car, and it doesn't it light up?
It's like
it's got electricity.
Like a honk or something.
It's got electricity going to it.
There's this little inlet in the
because I think at that point they were talking about being tired and hungry and stuff.
Right.
So they fish, and then they decide to sleep on the trolley car. But at that same time, I think they were talking about we need to camp and stuff, but we also need to keep watch for any kind of dangerous
They
Digimon.
could've made it so much easier.
They
They could
don't know.
use Gomamon's power.
To
with
do
the- to
what?
bring the
That's
fish
messed
to
up.
them.
Yeah, that's true.
That would be messed up.
Poor
That's-
Marching
that's his
fishes,
friends.
come and
That's
let's
his
eat.
friends.
Yeah.
Fire
So they decide to keep
think,
watch.
I think also like Mimi was talking about being cold, and Taichi is like, "Oh,
Jokes
look
with
up,
Gabumon.
look out, Gabumon! Mimi's
Yeah.
gonna come find you in the dark." And Yamato was not having it. He was like, "Get the hell off him, bro! Like,
Yeah.
what is wrong with you?"
So Yamato is the loner
Takes
type,
no,
you know.
takes no shit.
he is also Takaru's brother, but they don't have the same last name.
Yes.
So I mean, we find out a little.
Yeah,
later.
we find out stuff later.
So anyway, they're
Actually,
all
we find stuff out in this one, I think.
Yeah, they're all chilling, and then I think Tai wakes up, right, because he hears harmonica playing.
I thought it was Ty's turn first to watch. He was first to watch, right?
They
Was
were
he?
taking
And then
shifts.
Yamato comes to
Relieve him.
relieve him. And as he's leaving, he hears
The harmonica.
the harmonica.
Yeah.
As Ty's like heading to the trolley car, he hears a harmonica. And I think it's... No, that's not right. That's not right.
Yeah, I was
It's
about
got to
say,
be Matt.
because Tai is outside with the fire.
Yeah, he's the one that's...
and he flings a spark,
Mhm.
and it kind of lands on something that looks kind of weird.
Yeah, it's
So-
like in the ground.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a...
like a
red
fin
leaf.
or
A
something
leaf,
like
yeah.
that, yeah. So at that point, things start getting all shooken up,
Mm-hmm.
and
Earthquake.
the island just starts moving right
Mhm.
to the middle of the lake, and it turns out that there was a Seadramon living in this island, like
So,
this little
Describe
island thing.
Seadramon.
Seadramon is essentially
A water
he
Leviathan.
looks like
Leviathan.
he looks like a leviathan. He looks like a giant water serpent,
It all makes sense.
and he's blue. He was actually really cool. I like a lot of the early Digimon designs. Not that I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
dislike any of the later ones, but all these early ones were like on point. They were really really cool looking. So he's this giant snake looking dragon water thing, and he's about to mess some people up.
So Matt, being back on the
Sure.
shore, decides to jump in.
He's like, "Oh no,
I'm gonna go,
Takaru!
save us.
Save my boy."
So I'm trying. Let's
I
see.
think Gabumon was on the. He was at the trolley.
Yeah.
Takaru gets knocked in. Gabumon goes to save him, and I think in that moment, he
Matt gets in.
Matt gets wrapped up.
Yeah, and
by
he gets
Seadramon.
wrapped up by Seadramon.
After Gabumon saves Takaru.
Yeah.
He jumps back in to save Matt, and at that point, like because he wanted to protect Matt, he digivolves.
Mhm. He evolves.
I'm sorry. Damn, I keep forgetting about that. So he evolves into this badass looking wolf.
Yeah.
He's much bigger now. He is swimming at Seadramon. He's got a new special move. That's a it was a Blue Blaster was Gabumon's.
Blue Blaster, and then it's
Dang.
oh shoot.
Is it in those notes?
No.
Fire.
Dang it, what is it?
Blarg.
Gurumon's attack.
Hoon Blaster?
Moon Blaster.
No.
Poon Blaster. Poon Blaster.
No.
Okay, you're just getting a
Now
little
you're
too
just-
silly.
Is it Howling?
Howling Blaster.
No.
I think that's the
Yeah.
one that I just said. Or no, it was Blue Blaster. So I think it was Howling Blaster, actually.
I still like
Dang
Poon
it.
Blaster.
Can't believe Merle, that was Merle's nickname in high school. So anyways, so you look that up. So he evolves into Garurumon, and he's able to defeat Seadramon. And
It's Howling Blaster.
Howling Blaster. Okay.
Howling Blaster, Slamming Attack, Freezing Fang, Ice Wall, Garuru Thrust. I think some of those are from the game.
Probably. He
Yeah,
defeats
he's a
Garurumon.
beast.
Oh yeah.
Badass. And then he ends up beating Seadramon.
Mhm.
and then Matt jumps on his back, and they ride back to the.
Do they push the
island?
I hope so.
Yeah, they push
back
the island
over?
back
Yeah.
over so everybody can get off. At this point, I think they're like a good.
Oh no, Gomamon's fish bring the island back.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He calls on his super
Yeah.
helpful marching fishes because Gomamon's a boss, and brings.
He has probably been the most helpful
Yeah.
So far.
rookie, at
Yeah.
least so far.
So
Well, say
Without
They get
without
back,
Gomamon, there would be no episode. 2.
so then it's revealed later on that Takaru and Yamato's parents split up,
Right,
And
that's
that's
why
why
they-
they have different names, and one lives with the mom and one lives with the dad.
Why would
It's,
that matter about the names, though?
I don't know. Maybe
the
it's a
mother
Japanese
went back
thing.
to her maiden name.
Yeah.
I think he's adopted.
No, it's the parent. No, they're
And-
they're brothers.
Yeah, that's the end of our episode 3
Mm-hmm.
of Digimon. It just kind of ends with them being like, "Hey, awesome giant wolf,"
I think they go to sleep.
and yeah, I guess they camp to the shore now instead of
And
camping back inside
Is
of the
it-
trolley.
am I remembering it where TK like falls asleep on Matt and Gabumon while Matt plays the harmonica? Is that right?
Yep.
Or
And he plays the harmonica to the end of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
All the way to the last episode.
Matt's good.
Non-stop.
yeah,
Matt's a good musician.
and that is the end of this session.
Yeah. You guys. So what do you guys think about the first 3 episodes of Adventure?
First 3 episodes of Adventure in Japanese. Yeah,
Great.
That's
I'm
a
digging
good
it.
job.
It's bringing back all the old nostalgia.
Yeah.
Good on this.
We might have to at one point go back through and re-review Try, because that first episode, I mean, it of course was our.
We
first
could do
episode.
it like
Just do it like by episode, maybe.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then-
Too much.
We can do it when we get to
part 6 or part 5
yeah, right before.
in Try.
Yeah, we could do that.
But no, yeah, I'm thinking maybe just do 2 at a time to keep it simple, so
Yeah.
we can get our details and get our notes in and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
Doing too much too fast.
yeah, because that first one was, oh man, it was jumbled. We were forgetting things.
Yeah.
We didn't take any notes. It was chaos.
We were new and
Yeah.
learning.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for years.
Not on this level though. We've been talking about crap all those years. Now we're talking about something that's
Serious.
Serious.
Digimon is
Digimon
serious
talking
business.
about Digimon.
never talked about Digimon.
So anyway, yeah, that's this first series of Digimon Adventure. It looks like these might actually be a little bit shorter than our Apply Monster, so
Yeah.
we might want to try to fit a little bit more because I mean, nothing against Digimon Adventure, but the story's a lot simpler,
Yeah.
you know. And okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw my 2 cents in
Uh-oh.
about Digimon Adventure and how much I love Digimon. I know I've already said it before, but the cool thing about this series to me always has been that it's always been like these kids get thrown into this situation, you know, against their will. They befriend these monsters. They don't like capture them or anything like that, and they choose, the monsters choose to fight by their side.
Right.
They are a team. They are together. One's actions, you know, controls what happens to the other, as we'll see later on through the series. So that's always been like a really awesome thing to me. And I always really liked it to where it wasn't a collecting thing. You know, they had this specific one that was attuned to them and them alone. And that was just always a really cool thing I liked about it.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not like Pokemon or whatever where.
Who?
Pokemon?
What's that?
Pokemon? It's the other Mon franchise.
I don't know, like don't get me wrong.
I like Pokemon like a lot.
Pokemon's cool. We actually did an unboxing of some
Yeah.
stuff. I brought
Like
back
I
from
really
Japan.
like Pokemon.
But so if
as-
you want to check out that
You should.
YouTube video,
YouTube.
yeah,
But Digimon has always had that.
it always felt like it had maybe a little more heart.
Yeah,
I mean, not
it
Pokemon gets emotional.
It does
yes.
get emotional and it gets deep at times,
Yeah.
but there's never
But
been
the bonds are super
Yeah.
important in Digimon.
There's Ash and Pikachu.
Yeah.
Like they have a serious bond. You know, they are
Yeah.
best friends.
Yeah,
Are those Digimon?
And then some of the other ones, some of the other ones have bond with their Pokemon, you know, but this
never like this. This is a deciding factor.
Besides Ash, like Ash has, you know, especially with like when you later on when he gets
Ash is a byproduct of fire.
When he gets Froakie and he's able to, and he evolves to Greninja, and he's able to even like, golly, he's able to like
do the Ash
Greninja with. He's able to like literally sort of bond with him and you know help him. But this everybody has to have a bond with their Digimon, or else you in this one you can't evolve.
Even later on, the characters and the characters' partner Digimon would have to have bonds to turn into certain forms and stuff like that. Like it's all about overcoming just different things in this show and facing your fears.
And it touches on a lot of stuff later on, you know, like divorce.
Yeah,
you know,
just a lot of things that are really, you know, kind of important. It's, I mean, to me, it was a really kind of big turning point, you know, growing up, because it had like that coming of age story, and all these kids have to learn and, you know, get more mature because they're facing this life or death kind of world.
You know, in this one, the characters, they have these crests that
we get into later.
Get into later, but each it's a characteristic of each one of them that they have to find in themselves, you know, before they can actually activate this thing. So there's a ton of character development. You know, even in the later seasons, like I remember, I think in season 4, like they hint on where the characters are they're more messed up than the Adventure Kids or even the Tamers, because like I think one of them was bullied. Yeah. One of them deals with like being like I know the little kid. I think the little kid Tommy.
He was actually my favorite from that series.
Was he?
Frontier.
Yeah. Was he the
Yeah.
I thought JP was bullied.
No, JP was the one that had no friends.
Oh yeah, and then well, I know Zoe, the girl, I think it's Azumi or something like that. She was like a foreigner, you know, like because she was like half Italian, I think, and so I think they treat her differently because of that, you know. So there was like it gets a little more
I would have.
Gets a little deeper than.
Because you're an ass.
They don't quite deal with stuff like that a kid might actually be going through in school, like as they're watching it in Adventure or Serial 2 or anything like that. But they still deal with some stuff, and it's pretty.
Sometimes we'll have people that are dealing with like character deaths, you know, like siblings, and disappearing deaths, whatever. And it's just, I don't know, it's always kind of like...
To someone who was actually
I don't want to... Like, there were parts of it that hit home with me, you know, growing up and everything. And it was, it was a great show. It made me the person I was today, I feel.
Oh, dude, me too. Like, Digimon, like, led me to people.
Your wife?
No, I didn't. No, sadly, that'd be awesome. But, like... There were years, literally like years, where Digimon was it, you know, and like, it's great, man.
And I mean, I used to have neighbors, like back when season 2 was going on, and I had there were two kids that lived like next door on either side of me, and I kind of spurred them both into it, and they got Digivices too, so we had like 3 or 4 acres, you know, because we kind of lived out sort of in the country, and we would just walk around the woods, you know, with our little D3 Digivices and stuff.
Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah,
I would sit there.
Pretty great.
I would spend, when I should have been doing schoolwork, but I'd spend the day just like creating a story for that night, and then I had one serious friend who was into Digimon, and
Merle.
It wasn't Merle. I didn't know Merle that well. I knew Merle, but he was a baby still. But
did he still have the beard?
He did.
Yes.
He did.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
But like then we would get out of school and we would go and like play, LARP, this story that I came up with that day. And I don't know, Digimon, I haven't had a franchise affect me and like the way Digimon has,
Opened you up to the world of anime and you squandered it.
It was great. And another thing that like James and I have been talking about frequently, which I don't know if we're ever gonna like bring anything up of it online or anything like that, but we're actually working on a fanfic.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
How much of it have you written so far?
None.
We've
got
we're
in the early
stages.
Ideas. Yeah,
I've created my own. James is shoehorning himself into being the leader. So he's
a treatment for it yet?
Nope.
Yeah, we've got some pretty cool ideas. We're working on some stuff, working on where to set it in the world and stuff like that. So we're gonna hit that ultimate nerd level very soon.
Do you at least know what it's gonna be about?
Nope.
Yeah, we haven't made it that far.
Have you wrote a Dramaticus persona?
Nope.
We've talked about it being on Tamers, right?
I kind of want to make it a Tamers sort of sequel.
I kind of thought it'd be a cool idea, just because like doing new things with the cards or coming up with new cards in general.
Well, that's awesome. Something that like it was a little disappointing. They don't really use the cards after like. So
far into it.
Yeah, they get the blue card and then they swipe it once and
ultimate.
But they don't really use like the
Matrix
a card to like add armor to them or the wings or something. They stopped doing that kind of stuff and
usually just Digivolution.
Because
I was just thinking of like extra evolutions and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, well, definitely.
Or maybe even like the characters that we end up creating, like they go to fight the champions of that season and just end up getting whooped by the rookies because they forgot how to use the cards. But
right,
James.
Just something interesting like that.
Yeah, I definitely want to like just create our own characters and and then pop them into the world, you know. So it'll be the Tamers will be older. I got to figure out like how are they going to get their Digimon back,
early 30s
because of the way that series ended.
Yeah, and then
that's something to look forward to. That's
I think there is a app,
some stuff we're working on.
There's an app
like specifically for writing fan fiction that you can put like chapters up and then people can download the chapter.
Because I have been wanting to write some pairings from Digimon for so long.
I'm sure there's some. I'm sure there's stuff up there. Yeah. I know the girl that told me about this app reads One Direction fan fiction off of it.
What?
Yeah. So
if anybody gets an idea for it, there's a thing for it.
Oh yeah.
If you think of it, if you think it up, it's already out there.
And apparently that there's a lot of Harry Styles fan fictions. Yeah. So
we promise to not completely promise, but
it really depends on
that we're not going to go into that kind of stuff.
Well,
James.
I like One Direction, so
love relationship with Agumon and one of the series or Patamon or something. It won't be published.
It really depends.
I won't let it happen.
When I start to write it, if I realize that I'm not very good at writing like I thought I was,
okay,
I'm just gonna stop. I'm not even gonna
like how it goes.
So we'll see.
You should see all the unfinished fan fiction.
Those were unfinished because I just stopped writing them. It
fell out of
it wasn't that I realized.
Hey man, I had a group of people where we were writing a One Piece fanfic.
Yeah.
And we all had our characters, and we were just setting the story, and had some really good ideas for it. But I don't know. It's like you get writer's block sometime, and you can't find inspiration.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully, doing this podcast will continually give us inspiration and stuff for it.
Yeah, we'll see.
So
this has been
the longest conclusion ever.
Yeah, that's because the episode summaries were pretty short.
Yeah,
so.
True.
But yeah, so check us out. Keep listening because we'll do what are we at 4, 5, and 6 next time.
Yep.
And you can keep listening to the episodes we're going to start 15, 16, 17 next time. So
yeah,
it's fun stuff.
We've got Apply drivers from Appmon that we're going to do videos for.
Yep.
So yeah, just
some of us have Apply drivers.
Yeah.
Or Apply drives.
A certain somebody was supposed
Some of us are Apply drivers, and the other one is just the supporting character.
Certain somebody
Listen, Watson. It's okay, Watson.
You still have that?
No.
But
Nice.
But yeah, that's all for this episode. We will see you
Keep
next
listening.
time.
Stay tuned.
Bye.
Later.